What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to Your Ex-Drinking Buddy. My name is Brennan Tassif. I'll be your host. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Check out the merch store at brennantcomedy.com/merch-store. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. We'll put the shorts up there, the full video, the whole thing. Thank you so much for listening. I love it. I hope you love it. Subscribe on Patreon, too. We do bonus episodes. I do Tales from the Restaurant, where I talk about celebrities I've waited on and whether they're assholes or not, which is super fun. Also, we do a pre-show banter for my other show, Cheers from the Press Box with Joe Dorville. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff going on over there, too. Make sure you just subscribe everywhere, just all over the place. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're not leaving the mean comments, thank you for that. Maybe leave a couple nice ones.
Grab me your beer and grab me a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy.
Let's go.
I am your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the program, quick rundown of the show. I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It was my favorite thing to do, hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about crazy stories. Yeah. I am sober now, but it's still one of my favorite things to do, hang out with somebody and reminisce about the crazy old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by guys. This week is no exception. All the way from New York City, Skyler Holzman.
Let's go, baby. Dude, I'm psyched to be
What up,
I'm
bro?
psyched to be here. This is so sick.
This is going to be fun.
This is great. Oh, my God.
Before we get too far into anything, plug everything up front. Social media,
Yes.
any shows coming out, let everybody know where they can find you.
100%. Okay, so I got my Instagram, Skyler Holzman. That's SkylerHolzman, no T.
No
I
T.
think maybe don't speed up the podcast if you're listening to that because I just sped through that. And then there's an underscore at the end.
I was going to say, people are going to be like, am I listening to this at 2.5?
Yeah, for real. Oh my God. And then let's see, I run a show called Leg Day Comedy. It's at a gym on the Lower East Side called 720 Strength. It's 36.
Which is so funny because it doesn't look like Skyler's ever done a leg day in his life.
That's
Ow!
so fair. That's fair.
Kidding.
Just can you pan down? Can they see my legs?
No, they can't. Well, they can see your quads.
They can see my quads. All right, well, that's enough evidence.
That's why I wear shorts on the podcast in the summertime, baby.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, this is healthy for me. This is safe socially. Yeah, dude.
You're like, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm like
Why did you just pull your leg out?
no, for now I'm like stuff. I'm holding
Leg
it.
Day Comedy, when is that?
It's just a straight up comedy show at a gym.
Okay.
And I ran it actually.
Do it once a month, twice a month?
Yeah, once a month.
Okay.
It's usually toward the end of the month. And I straight up, I ran it at, Boris and Horton in the East Village?
No.
It's like a dog-friendly cafe. I ran it there because I knew this comic who worked there at the time, and she was kind enough to give me like a slot, like a show slot there. And so I ended up running my show there for like 5-6 months. It was crazy. It was great.
Did you still call it Leg Day Comedy?
So I named it arbitrarily on a plane. I was like coming back from vacation, and I was like, I just want to start a show. And so I thought of a bunch of names. A lot of them were terrible. One of them was like Moot Comedy, like MOOT. Like it's I don't know why I studied English.
It's a moot point.
It's dumb. Yeah. And so I thought of Leg Day Comedy, and then I liked it. I liked the sound of it, and I was like, okay, what could be like a handle? Like what could be a tag for it? And it was Don't Skip This Show. So it's like, don't skip leg day, whatever.
Everyone skips leg day.
Precisely, including myself. So I named it Leg Day. I ran it at this dog cafe.
So it was called Leg Day at this dog cafe?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And then I had a friend, because the dog cafe ended up shutting down. They've since reopened, but I'm sure it was like some like fraud embezzlement because they raised it was embarrassing.
It's always
for them.
something.
It's always 100%. So they shut down, and then they ended up opening back up. But while they were shut down, I was like, I need a new place for my comedy show. One of my friends, my friend Liz, she was like, "Are you dumb? Run it at a gym."
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's why I was like,
it had never occurred to me. It had never occurred to me to run it at a gym. Not one time was I like, this should be. Oh, this theme makes perfect sense. So I ended up running it. I ended up DMing this gym, 720 Strength. Straight up, 15 minutes after I DM'd them, they were like, yes, let's do it. I was like, dude, you should screen me. Like, I could be literally anybody. I was like, hey, I run a show. Can we do it? And they were like, sure. And they're the kindest guys. They're dope. They're so
it's an
dope.
awesome show?
It's a great show.
We got to check it out. Everybody, the link will be in the show notes.
Leg Day
yeah,
Comedy,
we'll link
baby.
everything. Leg Day. Because
Yeah.
I love the idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm a chubbier guy, but I'm also like one of the strongest comedians in New York City.
Oh, you're jacked.
So it
You're
is
jacked.
very funny.
I'd say
because-
jacked before chubby, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I appreciate that. It was funny because sometimes I know, like sometimes I'll be down on myself because I'll be like, God damn it, you're a fat piece of shit. And then I'll go walking through the park and then a homeless guy will be like, hey, yo, big guy. Yeah, you big. And I'm like,
That's huge.
I still got it. I still fucking got it. One time, this happened like last week. I was walking because I go to the Met a lot. I was walking from the Met to the Central Park Zoo.
Yeah.
Because I'm a weirdo. And this guy was barking. He was barking for a music show, but we know what it is. He was barking for the uninitiated. He was just handing out flyers trying to get people to come to a show.
Yeah.
And they'll do these fun things. The comics don't do it because we've lost our souls. We'll just be like comedy show.
Yeah.
But like if people are really out there like trying to get after it, they'll do like these fun ingenuitive things. So this guy was standing like next to a bench.
Yeah.
And there were these two pretty girls on the bench. And then as I'm walking by, he turns to the pretty girls. He goes, "Oh, you talking about this guy? You talking about this guy? This big guy right here?"
Oh my God.
And then he goes, "Man, you're built. You look like you're strong." And then I just chuckle and I go, "Yeah, I'm really strong." He goes, "You're built like one of those black guys." And I was like,
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Oh, word.
It was
You're
a
like-
black dude who said it, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
where.
is that cool? Is that
I
valid?
was like, yeah, obviously. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, you kind of run with it.
I'm
If
an
you get that,
athlete.
if you get that, you go, yes, 100%.
I was like, yes,
totally
I
agree.
am.
Yes.
I am 1,000%.
Yes, you were like, you're correct, and thank you.
I was like, this actually is going to make my entire month. I will
Right.
always, for the rest of the month, in the back of my head, be like, yeah, I'm built like one of those. black
yeah.
guys. What's up now?
Yeah, if you're ever down on yourself, that's a good mantra to have.
Yeah,
like you're
just-
meditating, whatever. I'm built.
But it's so that's why it's like so fun, like this idea of like leg day, because you're a big gym guy.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it from.
I
looking
mean,
at
I
me,
know it
but-
because I know you, but
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just like I love the gym. Like it's a great vibe. But I've literally had people like I've literally told people like, hey, I run a comedy show at the gym. I've had people be like, oh, do you have to work out during the show? I'm like, are you?
No.
What is wrong with you?
I would love to do the show only because then I could be like, I know you guys don't really think I'm as strong as I am. Rack it up, 415, let's go.
I've had a couple comics like the three who come to mind. It was Jess Elgin, Andrea Allen, and Gus Constantellis, who've all
Okay.
like interacted strongly with like the gym stuff. Like there's like a belt that we hang up just for like art direction, creative
Yeah.
direction in the background, and they've just taken the belt and they've worn it. And people in the audience, they've either loved it or they've been like, "What are you doing
I would
with this?"
Well, they probably loved it with Gus because he's so little.
Oh, yeah, no,
so it's probably
100%.
hilarious.
100%.
But if I went in there and just started putting weights on, they'd be like, "Fuck you, asshole."
Yeah, no, because you get way too into it. You'd actually just start
and I have
benching
that
and they'd be-
vibe of like,
Oh, 100%.
what are we doing? Everybody in the audience, we lift now. When you're pumped, you feel like you're coming. Come on, haven't you guys ever seen Arnold's doc?
Yeah, that's how you got to work out.
Let's talk about it. So
do it.
we're gonna get off the rails too far.
Fair.
So I ask all my guests this.
Yeah.
You're a young guy. You're here in New York City. You moved here, I'm assuming, for comedy?
So I grew up in Westchester. Like
Oh,
an
did
hour
you?
north.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in
Okay.
this town called
So
Croton on Hudson.
Yeah, my girlfriend's family lives in New Rochelle, so we're familiar
that's not
with the
far.
area.
Yeah, super not far. So I grew up in this town called Croton. It's like a tiny white suburb. And I went to college upstate. I went to Cornell. And
Oh, fancy pants over here. There's so many. You're the 5th or 6th Ivy Leaguer I've had on my podcast
No
that does
kidding.
comedy.
It's so weird because I don't
Malia,
know.
Ben, you. God, I'm missing 2 other. God, there's 2 other people.
They're
now. I'm gonna feel
so.
bad.
I mean, Arthur. Like, guys, I
Sam,
can't tell.
what is her last name? Oh, this is gonna look bad. So we're just gonna move on.
There's other people. Yeah, I can't. I don't know how many there are of. Cause like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird. It's like a.
I mean, there's
it's
quite
not
a few.
Huge, it's there's a bunch, but like you don't know because they don't
Hold that
really.
thought.
Yeah.
I'm being very unprofessional. I can't record podcast on my sins.
That's so fair.
Shout out Tori Cole. We got to get our zins on, baby.
Oh my god.
Do you want one?
Oh, I'm chilling.
Okay.
Chilling. But I like enabling.
Yeah.
Just like by all means, enjoy it.
As a recovering alcoholic, I would never take something and not offer it.
Oh, that's so kind. So
I got
kind.
booze. You want some booze? No, I'm just kidding. So you go to Cornell, and it is
Yeah.
interesting because, like I said, I've had a bunch of people on this podcast where I'm like, wait, you went where? And they're like, Penn or Columbia or something. My brother went to Cornell, so.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Did
he-
he like it? Did he like it?
No, I mean, my
yeah.
brother's, I don't know if you ever saw A Beautiful Mind, but that's my brother. He's
Oh, got it.
like
Okay.
too smart for his own good. But yeah, he went there to get his PhD. So it's in
No
Ithaca.
kidding. Yes.
Pretty far upstate.
Yes. There's nothing there.
So
There's
you
no-
went from like being an hour maybe outside of the city to going like 5 hours north.
Oh yeah, no. It was weird. So like and that's kind of where I started. That's where I started stand up there.
Okay,
But,
that
like,
was gonna be the question, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was so it's weird. So like the reason that I started comedy at all was because I played baseball like very seriously for a long time, and I was like, I'm trying to play in college, and I had people be like, yeah, you could probably play D3 maybe, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the reason I say that is not as a reaction to you, but it's because so I played Division I football. So like I've been in that world.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm so like that's so surprising is because with baseball, it's either you're drafted out of high school or not.
Right. No, exactly. Well, because there's
You know what I mean? So like I would think all the elite players immediately go into the minor leagues. So wouldn't that make room in Division I for like a lot more players?
That's what you would think. Yeah, because all the best, everybody wants a high school pitcher. They all want. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's gonna relate to this, but dude, I could get into the fucking weeds with this. But like everybody wants a high school pitcher because they're all pumping 100. They're all gonna get surgery in the next like 2-3 years. That's just their pathway.
Yeah. So then you get the surgery, you're out for a year, and then you come back as a 21-year-old pitcher.
Right, and then all right, you're in the system. You're in Double A. You just get moved up. You get fast track.
Yeah, because if you're going to college as a pitcher, you're probably not going to get the surgery right away.
Right. No, 100%.
Because it's almost a precaution now to give these guys Tommy John like right when they get there.
Right, exactly. So it's like, but it's interesting. So I played. I was always injured. I'm hyper flexible, which is like it's like a medical term. It's just really weird. It's like I've been told. So I don't know. Do you know what hyperflexibility is by chance?
I could assume.
Yeah. So it's like my joints, ligaments are unstable.
Yeah.
So like this is actually part of one of the stories, the tail end of one of the stories. I tore my labrum when I was 17.
Okay.
Playing baseball, and so
you
that
played.
was like.
I'm sorry. What position did you play?
So I played short. I played center.
Short
and center.
Short is the most athletic person on the field.
That's what they say, allegedly. And then when I was 12, though, so I was injured every year. I was in PT for years because I kept getting tendinitis, like bicipital tendinitis.
When did you start playing?
When I was like
T-ball, like a little kid?
When I was like 3.
Okay.
When I was like
That's
2 or
a big
3.
thing in New York I've noticed too, or in the Northeast. It's like basketball and baseball are the two. Like in Florida, it's football. You either play football or you don't play.
Well, because it's like, you
either play football or everyone's like, we don't care about soccer. And it's like, I play baseball. They're like, yeah, that's what I said, soccer.
Dude, you know what's funny? I actually at one point looked into going to IMG Academy.
Oh, really?
There's no way I would have fit in there. IMG Academy, for those who don't know, I think I can explain it. It's basically, it's school,
a factory?
It's a literal factory. It's school for sports. There's no school. It's just sports.
Yeah.
You go to class for, I think, they said like 3-4 hours a day.
Yeah, it's all
You're just
sports.
drawing up plays. Like, it's all it is.
It's all sports, baby.
Yeah, dude. But I pitched, and when I was younger, when I was 12, I threw out my arm. I damaged the growth plate in my elbow.
This is a bad omen of things. You're like, I'm gonna be in the major leagues. And then at 12, you're like, ah.
Yeah. And I was delusional up to the point where I got to high school, and I was like, no, but I still have a shot. I'd watch the draft, and I'd watch the draft every year. I'd be like, that's gonna be me, number 1 pick, and my mom would be like, just eat.
Number 1. You were just
dude, I was a delusional child.
I'm gonna be that guy.
Delusional child. I was like,
because I always thought about I was like, yeah, I could play in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I was like maybe undrafted free agent, maybe a 7th
No, dude,
pick.
I'd go around telling people, I was like, yeah, so okay, stock is up on me right now. Stock is huge. Stock is up. You gotta want to invest early and often in me right now for baseball specifically. And so
that's the title of the episode. Stock is up in me.
Stock is up in me right now. So I ended up and my parents were very supportive, but they knew. They knew it was never gonna happen. But they were like, yeah, just this is crazy. There's one period. This is so not about this. There's one period in my life where I had protein powder in high school. But first of all, I didn't have a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have what could have actually helped me get stronger. I didn't work out at that point. So I would just have protein powder in the morning. So it would just go to waste. And it made all my smoothies taste like shit.
Yeah.
So I just drank shitty smoothies with a little bit of protein powder. Did nothing for me. I was like, I went up from 135 to 137, and I was like, this is crazy, because I was 6 feet, 135.
Yeah, because you're a big dude.
Yeah, I'm tall. 6 feet, 5'10" and a half, whatever. I actually went to the doctor one time, and they measured me at 5'10" and a half. And I was like, can you just list me at 6 feet? And they were like, sure. Whatever,
Well, it is interesting because when it's funny you say that, because I always tell everyone I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
Because when I got measured in college, I was 6'1".
Yeah.
I completely forget we're wearing shoes when we get measured in college. I didn't think about it because and this is what I tell everybody. It doesn't matter when you play D1. I don't know how it is in other, but when you play D1 in football, everyone goes to the pro day. So you hear about all these pro days that they do every year, when they're talking about the combine and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone on the team participates, from freshmen to seniors. everyone participates in the pro day.
Yeah.
It gives the scouts something to like be like, okay, we need to keep an eye on this person. We check out this person.
Yeah.
So the reason I say that is we all get measured fully. Like the wingspan, the hand, the whole thing.
Right.
And when I got measured, it said 6'1.25". And I was like, so I'm definitely 6'1.25".
For sure.
Not even thinking like I'm wearing my thick-soled Nike. Like we're all wearing our shoes.
Are they cleats? Like they're cleats, right?
No,
Oh,
not
you're
cleats.
right. Actually,
Just,
like flats,
just actual
flats, okay.
flats.
Yeah, but still.
But so like my entire life, I was like, yeah, I'm 6'1". Because when I have shoes on, I am 6'1".
Yeah.
So my whole life, I've just. And it's so funny you bring this up because now, since doing the podcast in the apartment, a lot of times I'm barefoot.
Right.
And so I'll open the door and my guest will come in wearing shoes and I'm like, fuck. Because like you just were like, I'm 6 foot. But when you came in my apartment, you were wearing shoes I was not. And you had maybe a half inch
dude,
on me.
I got
was
Hoka
like,
Bondis, dude.
Yeah,
I
and
got
I
Hoka
was like-
Bondis. They're huge.
So you were just saying that. And I was like, no, you're like 6'1", dude. You're like,
Yeah, 'cause
you're totally there, bro.
I walked in and I saw you and I was like, this isn't what you look like in real life.
No, I know, because when everyone sees me, I've got my shoes and like, and you're like, I know, like I'm joking about it, but like, especially like shoes nowadays, like you said, the Hokas, the Nikes that I wear, like they all give you like an inch and a half.
Oh,
so
it's crazy.
like-
No, that's most of the reason. It's probably 80-20, 80 because it gives me height, 20 because it actually helps my body.
I don't care about that. It's just like this.
Yeah.
It's because at work I wear because I work at a restaurant, so I wear the thick sole Dr. Scholl's, and then I have inserts on top of that. So I'm like 6'3" at my restaurant, dude. I'm a giant.
Holy smokes.
It's like that scene in Boondock Saints, the second one, where the guy takes the lifts off and he's doing the thing where he's like standing and then like on bare feet and then in the shoe and then on bare feet. That's how I am at work.
Dude, I have not seen that
So,
movie.
well, yeah, nobody has. It's Boondock Saints 2, and you're 25.
Yeah, good
So
hunting.
I'm gonna get back on track. So
yeah,
you're playing baseball.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You
right.
blow out your arm, your
Right.
labrum, your shoulder.
Right. Well, actually, so it was actually my non-throwing shoulder.
And this is when you were playing pitcher.
No. So pitching was when I was 12. That was my throwing arm.
Okay.
Separated my collarbone, damaged the growth plate in my elbow.
So you said every year you had an injury.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so when I was 12 throughout my arm, ages 13 through 16, tendinitis or some I went through a period where I just kept straining my calves or my quads and my hamstrings over and over because
Yeah.
I was running weird. And then when I was 17, I was taking batting practice and I swung awkwardly at a pitch. And nobody just heard that, but my elbow just cracked loud. And I tore my labrum.
Hyper
Dude.
flexibility,
I'm weird,
baby.
dude. I'm stretchy.
So I want to ask you this, and this isn't a dig or anything. I just don't know baseball like that. With all these injuries, and your delusion that you had already mentioned, were you good enough where coaches were like, we gotta keep
I was so realistically
like a Zion situation where it's like, well, we're not gonna get when he plays, he plays. Like we gotta keep
But
him.
when he's hurt, he's
always hurt.
I have a whole crazy baseball saga. That event, it was like a nightmare. I've had a kind of a nightmare baseball experience towards the end of my baseball career. But I was always the most athletic or one of the most athletic kids on the field. I could hit. I could never hit for power, obviously, but I could hit. I could do everything else. I could throw. I was quick. I was athletic. Mentally, would never have been able to handle playing college. Because I had the yips for years. So in addition to being injured, I had the yips, which is kind of an anxiety disorder.
Those things are kind of folded into the same thing.
It is, yeah.
A lot of times people get the yips because you get hurt, you rehab, and then when you come back, you don't want to get hurt again.
I could never trust my
arm. You can't
arm,
trust your body. Yeah.
So I would I've had if you watch me practicing at the height of the yips, dude, I would I'd be playing shortstop. And it didn't matter where you put me on the field. If you put me at second base, third base, whatever. If you put me at shortstop, I get a ground ball, field it cleanly, and either airmail it or spike it. I've injured multiple first basemen because they just have no idea how to deal with how I was throwing. So I've thrown stuff out of the stadium. One time I was taking a cutoff throw in practice from the outfield, and I threw it. I was supposed to throw it to third base. I threw it, and it hit the top of the dugout on a wooden panel, and everyone froze. Because they
are the coaches
shot.
Yo, Skyler, what the fuck are you doing?
No, because they had seen the throw prior, and they was all right, so this is clearly how he throws. They were like, "Oh, this is just a trend."
So then what happens? I would love
Yeah.
to talk about the baseball
yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah,
what
yeah.
ends up happening where you end up going to Cornell, or do you just you get that injury when you're 17 and you're like, I'm done?
So what happened was, I got that injury, and then at the time I knew these people in high school. So we actually had a comedy studio in our hometown.
Okay.
It was called the Croton Academy of Comedic Arts, and it was improv and sketch. And so I had a couple people in high school be like, "Okay, well, we know you're not doing baseball anymore, but like you want to like try."
That's
improv."
gotta sting.
It sucked, dude.
That's
It
gotta,
sucked.
because I mean,
sucked.
same thing. I had an injury take me out, and I got my 8th concussion, and they were like,
Christ.
yeah, they were like, well, I played fullback,
Yeah.
and
Oh
so
my God. Yeah, okay.
and they were like, yeah, you can't play anymore,
Yeah.
and I was like,
You always-
funny joke, guys, and they're like, no, like, so it is one of those things where when you identify as something for so, like you were a baseball player.
Everything I felt was attached to how I
Yeah.
did on the
Oh,
field.
yeah.
Like I was like, it was my whole identity. It's
Same.
like now I could probably play pickleball and like be fine.
Yeah.
But like who the fuck
But
cares
yeah,
about
and
pickleball?
dude,
Yeah,
I was
like-
the same. And they were like, so I remember at the time when I left the team, I was like, oh, great. Like I only party like a couple of times a week because we have practice and stuff. Now I can just do that every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was fun for like the first couple of months. And then I was like gaining all this weight. I joke about it on stage, but
Yeah.
I gained 100 pounds in 6 months or 3 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because I was just drinking every day, going to Taco Bell, skipping class.
Oh my God.
And I went and I was like, you go to Taco Bell, order $20 worth of food. This is back in like the early 2000s. That's a shit ton of food. And then you eat it at 2 a.m. and then pass out. Yeah, you're going to
that's
start to gain weight.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, within 3 months, I gained almost 100 pounds.
That is wow. That's
Yeah.
some supersize
But,
me type.
yeah,
shit.
but so I understand this. So then people are like, to you, they're like, hey, you should check out this comedy thing. You're like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, for real, dude. And they were already, so it was already like a cult. Like, so they already had their whole group. So the way I kind of was like, I played sports. I grew up playing piano. I did musical theater. I ended up, I played basketball as well. And then I ran cross country and track, and I did all this. Like, so I never had like a friend group. I was always just like floating around. So
Yeah.
they're like, why don't you float to this? And so I ended up like starting an improv and sketch, and it was taught by like this incredible guy, this guy named Joseph Rydell.
Shout out Joseph Rydell.
Shout out Joseph Rydell. He did improv like in Chicago. Was like extremely talented. But the group of people that I was performing with were like, they were really talented, but they had their own group. So I was never like part of the group. And so I hated it. Like I grew to like resent it, like seriously. But I did improv and sketch for 2 years, my junior and senior year of high school, and then I ended up applying to Cornell. I got in like early, and then
What were your grades?
just like how did I do in school?
Yeah.
It was like I finished with like, I guess, so some schools do like the out of 4, like we did like out of 100, so I finished with like a 96.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
So that's pretty
in high
good.
school, which was like,
Yeah, we did out of 5. Well, I was an IB, so that's out of 5.
got it. Okay.
So
right,
like
right.
everyone else in the school was out of 4.
Yeah.
But then if you took like honors classes, it was out of 4.5. If you took AP or IB, it was out of 5.
Got it. Okay.
So
Yeah.
like we had some kids graduate with like a 4.8.
That's nuts.
And people are like, it's at a 4.0. And they're like, yeah, we know.
We know. I think Cornell did like 4.3, so it was like,
Oh, really?
if you were
Yeah.
like a stud.
So it was like
you
a
were
little weighted,
4.
yeah.
Yeah, like one of my
Yeah.
best friends, he had like a 4.2, and I was like,
It was
you're-
so funny though, because when I graduated high school, because towards the end I wasn't doing too hot, because it's like I already got accepted to FAU. I was
there
already
you
like,
go.
I was like, all right,
You gotta check it out.
yeah, I senioritis a little bit.
Yeah.
So I took all the IB tests and stuff, and the cool thing about IB was it was based on the tests.
Yeah.
You would like test out to get college credit.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter what your GPA was. You still get your IB diploma if you passed the test.
Right.
So I literally was just like not showing up to classes, and then I went and took the IB test, and people were like, "Can you do that?" I was like, "Yeah, technically.
That's so
I have
funny.
enough credits to graduate. I had enough credits to graduate high school last year. Like we're
Dude,
fine."
I literally wish because I was like, I took school like really seriously when I was
Yeah.
younger. Like I wished I hadn't the most fun I ever saw people having was like, I remember taking like an AP exam, and I like looked across, like this kid sitting across from me who I like had grown up with, and I just saw him like just look around, open his shirt, and then just blow a massive cloud of smoke into his shirt. And he was vaping so hard. He was having the time of his life.
Didn't even care.
Did not care. And I was like, that's who I want to be.
See,
Like,
I wish
you
I
know?
wish I could sit here and tell you it's because I was out like partying and having fun.
Yeah.
But I was just at home playing video games by myself. Like I didn't have a big friend group. I just did not like. This is why I actually did better in college than I did in high school, because I don't like busy work.
Yeah.
Like when the teachers are like, okay, so every day in English, you're going to read like 10 pages and then do like a half a page breakdown. And I'm like, can we just take a test on the book? And then when I got to college, they're like, okay, there's 2 tests and an essay.
Right.
And I was like, oh, fuck it. Like, I'll crush this.
Yeah, it was like nothing because they give you everything up front. And you're like, oh, I could just do this now. And then
or,
it's like, whatever.
and my major was political science and American history. So it's like,
great.
Cool. I'm just I'm
You're
a
in the
storyteller. So it's like, I'm doing stories. Like, this is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But in high school, it was always like, yeah, we're going to do a worksheet every day. And I was like, fuck off. But again, it wasn't because I was like a rebel or having fun. I just didn't like doing busy work.
Yeah.
So I'd get home, throw my backpack, and start playing Halo and be like, all right, cool.
It's nice.
Just this chubby kid after football practice playing video games. My dad was so fun, too, because he would be like, hey, did you do your homework? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'd go, okay.
That's the kind of parent you want.
And I was like, oh, I can just lie.
I feel like that's the kind of parent I'd be. I'd just be like, all right, did you do your shit? Yeah.
I believe you because you're my son. Why would you lie to me?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, you're just giving them the benefit of the doubt, which is nice. But I remember like so when after I got to college, there was all like the comedy clubs in college, and so
Is there a lot in Ithaca?
So because there's like art is kind of dead in Ithaca unless you go to like Ithaca College, in which that they have all like the art programs there, like but Cornell, like it's just a pipeline to like Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, like that's all it is. So like there's some comedy clubs, there's some improv, there's some sketch, there's like a satire paper, and so I auditioned for 2
because Harvard's the big one when it comes to comedy.
Lampoon,
yeah,
the Lampoon. It's like, and that's where like a lot of the writers, TV writers will come from. But like Cornell, it's like there's nothing really there. Like the arts majors, like performing and media arts, that's just dance. It's literally just dance. That's all it is. And I'm like, I don't do that. I didn't even do that on my own bar mitzvah. Like I don't care. But basically, I auditioned for 2 sketch groups, 1 improv group, and the satire paper. Got rejected from all of them.
Okay.
Rejected from all of them. And so I was kind of bummed out. And then
it's fucking baseball all over again.
dude, I was like,
what do you mean?
I was like, bro,
put me in, coach. I'm fine.
I was like, I can't choose another identity, bro. I already have 2.
So I went from baseball to sketch to the paper getting rejected, and now you're just like, who am I?
Yeah, dude. So I was just kind of floating around, and like I remember, like after my my freshman fall ended, and then someone in the comedy community who wasn't actually a part of any of the groups at the time, but who knew I was into comedy, who I auditioned with for other groups, who presumably I guess got rejected from them as well, was like, hey, like I know you like comedy. All the comedy groups, they get together and they do a stand-up night once every semester. Do you want to like try? And I was like, sure. So I wrote this set. First time ever doing stand-up was in a frat basement in front of 100 people.
How'd you do?
First time. Well, everyone was hammered, so I crushed.
Yeah.
But my set was horrendous.
Dude.
I mean, you can't even like begin. I was like, this is.
Oh, I can.
Oh, yeah.
I can. Dude. I tell people all the time, I got joke books in that bookshelf over there from when I first started in 2009, and I'm like, this is vile.
Oh, dude,
this
it was
is
like
so bad.
I thought it was like this. That was about how my mom was like really into Instant Pots at that time. So I was like, yeah, my mom's. I was like, my mom's a pothead, an Instant Pothead, and the crowd was like, this wordplay is beyond anything we've ever imagined.
I'm gonna change comedy with this.
I was like, this is revolutionary. So I did this set. It was terrible, but it was really fun. I kind of got hooked there, and then there was no stand-up club. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to join any of these groups. Like, why don't I just start one? So I actually started a stand-up club at Cornell. It's still running.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah,
what's it called? I'm going to put that in the notes.
Yeah, it's called Pun Intended.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it was sick. I started with like a few other people, and I ended up running it. It was so.
So this is just stand-up?
Just stand-up. And like, we had never, so like, I hadn't have any experience like in stand-up. Like, so when I finished my freshman year, the club was like kind of in the works. And it ultimately started my sophomore year. And then I was in college during COVID. So like we ran it through COVID. And then when stuff got like, calmed down, then we were able to like run more shows in my senior year. But like I didn't have like experience. I wasn't there to be like, I know exactly what to do. I'd done literally one set. But then my right after my freshman year, I had a couple internships in the city.
Okay.
So I just jet down to the city, and I started doing open mics in 2019. So my first mic.
When you say jet down, did you literally get on a plane?
Oh, imagine, dude. Imagine. That's actually something that someone from Westchester could totally say.
That's why I was
that
like,
would be like believable.
I was like, I'm not going to skate over this. What do you mean?
I jetted down on the Metro North. So I came down, and my first mic ever was Stand Up New York.
Okay. Love Stand Up New York.
Right. I mean, their 78th Street location, which now they've moved, but I did a mic there, and it was about like going to Cornell. I'm like, what an insufferable thing to do.
I'd have hated
you.
I would have.
I mean, what an awful thing. I remember I opened. I have the recording on my set. I remember I opened, and I was like, yeah, like I go to Cornell, but like, don't worry, it's the shitty Ivy. Or I go to an Ivy League school, but it's the shitty.
First of all, everyone knows it's Princeton because that's in New Jersey. Second of all,
it's so awful.
Go Red. You know what I'm saying?
And so I did that, and then I did some mics that year or that summer, and then I came back to campus and I just like ran the club, and we just watched sets of like comics talk about it, whatever. Nobody really had the balls to like try, like not even myself included, like to just like actually try stand up in front. Finally, when we started like doing stand up, like, and people had the courage to like get up and actually try in front of other members, the club was starting to grow, and then the pandemic hit. And so then we had to run it like online. And it was a whole thing. And then we had like a couple Zoom shows, and it was like, and then I
always forget how impactful the pandemic was.
Yeah, dude. Because for
people your age, because I was just living my life, like going to work, doing stand up, like just living my like life. But like you're just getting into stand up. Yeah. You're in college, and then your whole world just is taken from you, which is not because like I talk to people who were like either in high school or college. You know, I've done 250 episodes of the show. I talk to people, a lot of them are much younger than I am. Yeah. And so they'd be like, yeah, so I like my senior year of high school, the pandemic hit, or like I was in college and the pandemic, and I'm like, what the fuck? I could not imagine my drunk ass in college. And then everyone's like, no, shelter in place, your classes are online. I purposely, because I'm from a generation where online classes were becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Because we were like the first people to do it. My generation of millennials were the first ones to be like, oh, you could just do it online.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got to FAU, I was like, I'm an in the room guy. Like that's how I was raised. That's why I like job interviews and stuff. I hate when it's like all online over the phone. It's like, no, put me in the room.
Because you could sell
I'm
yourself.
Good
like,
at
You like if you just get in front of people and like that's you.
And
like,
I was the same way in college where it's like, no, I want to be in the room with the professor to talk and ask questions, and like I don't want to read it out of a book and then answer questions online. Like, what's the point of that? Yeah. And so I remember, but for you guys, that was like your whole experience.
It was crazy, dude. There was like, I mean, there were so many classes that I took online that would have been so insane. Like there was this I took a class in college on the Manson murders, specifically on the Manson murders. Okay. And it was like, and I'm not like a Charles Manson fan. I don't know why I felt the need to clarify that, but like I just want people
You guys heard about this guy?
I just want to clarify, not a Charles Manson fan.
I mean, he did find a way to get people to follow him.
He did, dude. He's very charismatic.
His marketing was genius.
Oh, top tier, dude. Top tier. I took a class on the murder, and that was like when the pandemic hit, and like I remember the professor was gonna have like some people not involved, like she was gonna have like convicted murderers come and talk to the class. But I remember she told this story about how she tried to actually get this woman, one of the girls involved in it, in the murders, like to come talk to the class. And I remember she said that she went, I might be misremembering this, but she said she went to where this woman lives. She lives in upstate New York, and like tried to like go in person to meet her. And apparently the husband like chased my professor down with a bat and was like, if you come over, if you try this again, like I'll fucking kill you.
Really?
Something like that. Like it's some crazy story like that. But you would have had like some interesting speakers come, and like it just like
it could never happen. Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah. So I want to ask you, because you did send me a bunch of stories about college.
Let's do it.
What is junior after prom? What is that?
Junior after prom. So do you want junior after prom junior year or junior after prom senior year?
What is junior after prom?
Okay, so junior after prom. So well, you know prom.
I know prom.
You know prom. Yeah.
But you worded it junior after prom in both stories, and then you put junior year, senior year, and I was like, what is junior after prom mean?
So I have two separate stories.
Okay.
Two separate stories. So junior after prom, junior year, let's go chronologically. Junior after prom, junior year, it was actually at
Is that just the name of the party?
No.
Why is it called junior after prom?
Okay, well no, junior after prom. It's like the accent. Yeah, you got accent after, not after prom. Junior after prom.
Got it.
Doesn't even sound like a word anymore. We basically, so it was my junior year, I went to prom, whatever, and then after prom we took a train to the city, and there was a boat that we went on. That was our after prom. It was like the whole class came together, and like maybe parents or whatever, somebody like booked a boat for us.
Okay, so this was all like put together by.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like okay. Yeah.
My high school experience in Florida after prom, it's just like, yeah, so and so's uncle got him a hotel room. And then we would like
Yeah,
100
just,
kids
like,
would show up. Yeah.
Destroy the place.
Well, and 100 kids would show up because we're like, our uncles didn't get us a hotel. So,
right. No, this was like our grade.
or at least that's what I heard because I didn't go to any of those parties, but that's what I heard people did.
God.
But you guys are like all together, like,
Yeah.
hey, parents are talking to parents. We're going to do this. We're going to be here.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And so like I had
That's
like
very
you know,
cool. That's a real cool community kind of vibe.
Yeah, it was a good vibe, and like we oh man, I just thought of another story. Well, okay, so but basically, so we take this train, we jet down on the Metro North to the
You jet down.
we jet down on the Metro North to the city, and on the way
So you do
there-
prom in
Westchester.
Westchester, and then everyone gets on the Metro North. Everyone's still wearing their suits and dresses and stuff.
Yes.
And you head down to the city.
Go down to the city, and we're like going to this boat. I don't remember where we're left from, like Lower Manhattan, whatever. And so we're on the train there, and I like was not a partier, obviously, in high school. So like I get there, and like everybody on the train has like they have handles, and they have like weed, and I was like, weed. Whoa, you know, and like they had you know flat like hip flasks, and I was like, this is like my dream. And so
How do you drank up to this point?
no, I
Okay.
I think I drank. No, that's a lie. I drank like once or twice, but it was like very like
Okay.
low key.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so everybody on the train was like, "You want to try this drink? You want to try this drink?" And I was like, "I'll try everything, but not the weed because I'm not there yet." But I was like, "I'll try." I was like, "All right, I'll ease into drugs."
That was like the first time I saw cocaine. I was like, you can't have that. That's illegal.
Yeah, I was like, "You guys are crazy. You have nicotine. What is going on?" So so they gave me. So I tried like probably a dozen different people's alcohol. I was like, I got a sample. Like I got a sample Fireball. I got a sample
Just
like
swigging, yeah.
Svedka. Like, you know, this is awesome. And so I drank all of it, whatever. And I probably didn't even get that drunk. We went on the boat, and the boat was like, oh, like the big news on the boat was like these two, like this couple at the time. One of them was like this guy was like fingering the girl and like on a bench. On the boat. That was like the big story that I heard. And I
Parents
was like,
didn't pay for finger banging, okay?
Yeah, I was like, the parents really set this up, guys. What are you doing?
You're going to ruin it for all of us, guys.
So we were all like,
I want to drink my Fireball in peace.
Yeah, I was like, guys, relax. I'm new to this, guys. Like, ease me in. And so that was a big story. It was like a dumb like DJ who clearly just like wanted to die the whole time. Like, it's just like a nightmare job to do that. But
Being older now and we're in entertainment, could you imagine if they're like, hey, Skyler, you're going to do a set 20 minutes
absolutely
on a boat for prom kids. I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Dude, it's like
I'm going to jump into the river.
lower grade cruise comedy.
Oh
You're in
my
a high school
God.
prom boat. That's crazy. That's actually yeah. The what happened was basically so I like, you know, the party fit whatever. I go home and I'm like, oh, greatest night of my life. and so I we go home whatever. And a couple days later, like I wake up. I think this was on a Friday, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I fucked myself over because it was one of those full body viruses I could feel coming on.
Yeah.
It was like and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna be sick. And so you're not gonna believe how this is gonna tie back into our initial conversation. So at the time, this is my junior year of high school, and baseball season's about to start. And my coach, who is really the reason that baseball got ruined for me at the end of the day.
It always is.
He's an awful person. He was like, he made this very clear to the team. He was like, if you do not come to practice every single day, you are not going to play at all. And so I developed in the course of like 2 days this unbelievable full body virus, like chills, oscillating between like chills and like sweating.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I like
Cold sweats, you get thrown up. Yeah.
all of that, right? And so I have this whole virus, and I'm like, but I got the love of the game. I gotta show up. So what happened was I showed up to practice, and I normally didn't do this, but I wore a sweatshirt. Like I wore like a full sweatshirt because I was freezing, and it was spring, so it was not cold. It was just me, and I wore this huge hoodie because of the virus. And so what happened was I go to batting practice. And I'm taking batting practice, and because my body, I also have what I should mention importantly is I have muscle aches.
Yeah,
like it's a muscle ache virus.
You're hurt. Yeah, you're hurting.
Yeah, so like I'm taking swings in batting practice, but I kind of changed my swing a little bit because my body was in so much pain. But I was like, I got to get through it, and I take one awkward swing, and I tear my labrum.
No.
And so junior prom is
that's how you had. That's how it
prom
happened.
is the reason I'm not a Division I.
I was so hoping you were gonna be like, so I changed my swing and then I was just hitting fucking dingers.
It was in a cage. It wasn't even outside. It was inside a gym in a cage, and
And
that's
then
how my
you just
career ended. That's how my career ended.
Oh my God!
So
from
that's
junior,
so it all comes from junior after from trying alcohol on the Metro North.
God,
That's how I tore
ruined baseball.
Ruined baseball.
What happened your senior year?
So I leaned into
Because you're not playing anymore your senior year.
Right. So I ran cross country in the fall, and then the winter I tried running track. Again, like, you know, I want to make it clear my body's very weak. So the winter I developed IT band syndrome, which is like just inflammation of the IT band on the side of this is on my left side. So I couldn't
You
really
guys
run
and your
track.
ailments.
Oh, dude.
I do this with my girlfriend all the time.
Dude.
Because she power lifts and she's always like, this hurts, that hurts, this hurts. And I'm like, chosen people, what are we doing, guys? Come on.
You're like, I've had 8 concussions. That's crazy. But it tracks, dude. It's like, it's crazy. This is the most insane thing. So I do cross country. I develop IT band syndrome at the tail end. So I try winter track, but it's still really hurting.
Yeah.
But like I like rehab it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run spring track instead of playing baseball. And so
Take that, baseball.
I was like, you can suck my dick. I'm gonna run track, which is not a sentence that anyone has ever.
I'm gonna go wear those short shorts.
Yeah, I'm gonna look really concerning. And so I basically I'd healed enough to try running track, and so I was like,
What are you doing in track? Short distance?
I did like 800s, like
Okay.
mid distance. And so I was also in musical theater at the time. I was in Footloose my senior year
Let's
of
go.
high school.
Love
which
it.
was great. And I wasn't like a leading role. I played Roger Dunbar, who's like this super Catholic like gym. No, sorry. He's the gym instructor.
He's one of the
gym instructor. Yeah. So he's like Roger Dunbar, whatever. And then I played like one of Willard's boys. Like I was just kind of a jack of all trades who didn't do
Auxiliary
that
piece, man. You need
Exactly.
them. Plug them in.
much. Right. They used my athleticism in or the remaining athleticism that I had in the show, and I had like part of a dance that I did where they let me run across the stage. I jumped, I'd spin in the air, and I'd land. And so I'd do this during rehearsal, and so I had
Just tear your knee.
Oh, dude, it's way more embarrassing than that. So what happened was, as I was like rehabbing to come back for spring track, I pulled my hamstring in my left leg. In addition, there's the same leg I had the IT band syndrome, so definitely connected. And so when I jumped off of my left leg when I was jumping across the stage during rehearsal, and I realized in midair, I was like, I don't want to land on my like injured left leg or that I'm trying to heal, so I'm going to land with all my weight on my right leg. So I did it, but I landed with my foot slightly inverted, and I gave myself piriformis syndrome.
What
which
is that?
Nerve impingement that causes a shooting pain down your
Oh
leg.
my God,
and so,
dude.
And I've had it for 8 years. It is not healed. It is not healed. I still have piriformis syndrome. So musical theater is the reason that I wasn't able to run spring track.
Oh my God.
senior year
You're just
of
getting
high
taken
school.
out.
It's crazy.
Between the prom taking you out of baseball and then musical theater takes you out of track.
Yup, for real.
God, dude.
The moral is just like don't dance or
Yeah.
or a drink. I guess.
Well, it's so interesting because like I come from a family where it's like if you're hurt, you're hurt. Like you don't say anything. You just keep
just push
going.
through.
Like I have a bad back. Obviously, 12 years of football. I power lift. My back fucking sucks. But like when I go to the gym, it's just like okay,
You
like
just
nobody
get there.
cares.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Nobody's gonna like stop you. And be like, is your back okay?
Yeah.
Or
Like
you just
so.
like, yeah.
So, but it is that like mindset of like, no, you just push through. So it's so funny though because like my girlfriend again, Tracy, love her to death, and she powerlifts too. But she's very. I don't know if it's the family she grew up in. I don't know if it's part of the culture. But she is very vocal about like when something hurts or something's not feeling well. So we'll go to the gym and she'll be like, "Oh, this hurts, that hurts, this," and I'm like, "Just live. Like, what are we doing? Then go home." And you're like falling apart.
Dude, I know. I come back to my family.
But you're like, no, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going, guys.
Sorry.
They need me in Footloose. I'm gonna be in Footloose.
I went to my coach and I was like, sorry, coach, I can't run the 800. I'm part of the ensemble.
Coach, I'm out. What happened? The pirouette, man. It fucking got me, dude. It snuck up on me, man.
Dude, I was trying to protect myself and myself even more.
So what happened at senior prom?
Senior prom. So my senior year, I ended up. I went to like senior prom my senior year, and then I also went to junior prom my senior year with one of my friends. Also, my friend Liz, who recommended that I run the show at the gym.
Okay.
And so we went to prom. Like I danced for like a few hours.
So you guys had two separate ones. You had a junior and a senior?
Yeah.
Okay. So we did ours together. That's why I was
No
getting
kidding.
confused. Because
Okay.
so the juniors would put it on for the seniors.
That
That's
makes
why I was so
sense.
confused about why did you write junior prom on both? Okay.
Yes.
This is all
makes
checking
sense.
out now.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I went to this prom, and we danced for like a few hours. And then and it was at this like cool venue, but like I didn't eat at all. Danced for a few hours, didn't eat at all. And then we went back to Liz's family's place, and there was an after party at a house somewhere in the town at this like this kid. Yeah, so we were gonna be there. We're gonna pregame at her house and then go to this kid's house.
The party.
Right. And so we get down, we get there, we go downstairs, and she's like, I have like, alcohol here that we could have.
Fireball? Is
I
there
was
any
like,
fireball around?
Apple Svedka.
Oh, yeah.
And so she fills up a Poland Spring water bottle.
Of course.
Almost to the top of Apple Svedka. And again, like this is my senior year, but
God, you guys had flavors.
Dude, it was.
Flavors just started to be a thing when I was in college.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
they had them. Like Smirnoff had them.
Right.
But I remember, yes, 3 Olives was the big one.
Whoa.
3 Olives came out with like Loopy, which tasted like Fruit Loops, and like all these crazy
Brilliant.
flavors.
That's brilliant. Yeah, no, it was like because Svedka at this
Svedka
point
started
has
doing it too, yeah.
Literally everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Apple,
so
let's go.
But that was so I probably downed this I don't want to over like estimate how many shots I had. Probably like 6 or 7
It's a lot.
on an empty stomach.
And you don't drink.
And I do not drink at this point. So like I've had a couple times. So at this point, like I finish it, and then I'm clearly drunk, and then I'm like, but I haven't eaten. And then she's like, oh, I have pretzels. And so she gets a bag of pretzels.
Perfect.
They're almost gone. And I had like 7, and I was like, I think that'll protect my stomach. So
I think I'm good.
I think I'm chilling. So
7 pretzels to 6 shots. I'm fine.
yeah, I was like, it's a ratio. That's a good ratio or whatever. And so
I'm smart.
I was like,
I'm Ivy
at this
League.
point, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna study economics at Cornell. I think I got a handle on math. so I basically.
This is very Keynesian of me. That's a deep pull.
That's a deep
for the
cut.
educated.
Good Lord, that's great. And so what happens is like we go upstairs because her mom like has no idea what's going on, and she may have had no idea because I knew her parents, and so
I mean, parents have to have some
they
idea.
gotta say,
It's
yeah.
the prom.
right? So it's like I'm like pretty like I'm like.
So wait, you
busy.
go to the house party?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because her mom is gonna like drive us there.
Okay.
But we don't want her mom to know that we're drunk. And what happened was my car that I had driven to the house was blocking. Was blocking her car, and my date, like Liz, was like, "You gotta move it."
Pull it together, Skyler.
And
pull it together.
And I don't want to overhype what I did. I simply backed the car up.
Hammered out of your mind.
So hammered, and honestly, the worst thought I had doing that was like, this isn't that difficult. I was like,
Amen.
I was like, this is pretty easy, actually.
Oh man, and we do not condone drinking and driving on this
Absolutely not.
podcast. As someone with 2 DUIs, I have plenty of friends who are still incarcerated because of it. And yeah, shit can happen. You can kill
Yeah.
families. It's
No,
terrible.
it's awful.
But
No, I
cars with power steering and like especially when we were coming up, you're again younger than me, but
Yeah.
between power steering and anti-lock brakes and stuff, like it's like this thing drives itself.
It was like,
come on.
I like backed it up and I like maneuvered it out of the way. That's
You're
all
like,
I
this
did.
is easy.
But I was like, listen, at the end of the day, of course, would never ever drink and drive. But if you needed me to back a car out of the way of like a driveway, and I was drunk, I could totally do that for you.
I remember I used to, and this is terrible. And looking back on it, I've talked about it before on the show, but I remember I used to tell my friends, they'd be like, how are you getting home from the bar? And I would say like, oh, I go on the highway. So I don't have an issue, because my whole idea was as long as I'm going 60 miles an hour and I just let the car, because power steering, it'll stay straight.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get pulled over by a random city cop on the highway. Because in Florida, we have Florida Highway Patrol. So they're responsible for the interstate, and then the city cops are responsible for the city.
Got it.
So unless you're being chased from like a really violent crime or a drug deal or something,
Yeah.
the city cops don't go onto the highway to pull people over.
No kidding.
So I used to just be like, if I can make it to the highway, because my apartment was right off the highway, I was like, if I can make it to the highway, I'm golden. because I'll just go 55 miles an hour and just stay in the far right.
God.
It was such perverse thinking, but I was just like,
Wow.
no, I can get as hammered as I want because I drive on the highway.
That's crazy.
And it's like, so like looking back on it, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, dude.
But like in the moment, that rationale.
Yeah, when I'm like 21, I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Like, I'm not driving through city streets and stopping at stoplights and making turns. I'm just going straight. Like,
right,
I'm fine.
exactly. Oh my God, it's it was crazy. It was like very jarring, also in retrospect, to have that thought because
Yeah,
I was
to be
like, I can't believe I thought that.
Yeah.
But so what happened was I successfully moved the car out of the way, and then my date's mom like drove us to the party, and that's when things get super spotty.
Yeah.
Like I've never blacked out from drinking, but I was truly like
Brownout.
I was brown.
In
Like
and
I
out.
was. I had this friend who like at the time like who told me afterwards that I tried to fist bump him like 30 times. Like I'd keep coming up to him, and like it's as if I had just greeted him. I'd be like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And like my drunk personality when I was drinking was like just telling people that I was drunk and really happy to be drunk. Like that's all I did. So I just
love
go
that
around.
guy.
to people.
I love that guy.
Dude, I wasn't even like fun. I was just wholesome.
Because you're very in the moment. You're like, isn't this great?
yeah, because I was so new to it. So I was like, guys, like I'm doing what I've always wanted to do.
That was
like-
me on Adderall the first time.
Really?
First time I took Adderall in college, I was
Yeah.
writing a paper
Yeah.
in the computer lab, and I kept turning to everybody being like, have you tried Adderall? Have you been on Adderall? This is awesome. You guys, I'm crushing this paper right now. Have you guys done Adderall?
You're like, guys, I'm so focused right now. Guys, I'm so focused right now. You're not gonna.
I'm
believe
like
how focused I
hyper
am.
in this.
Yeah.
Did you guys know about this? Did you guys know?
Guys.
That was you drinking. You're like,
That was
this
me.
is so fun.
Like, have you
Are
guys tried apple Svedka? It's
This
like
is so much
incredible.
fun. Are you guys having fun?
That's literally me.
I'm having a great time.
I was just like a hype man for myself. Like that's all it was. so I'd go around whatever, and then at a certain point, like a couple hours in, I sit down. And I just start puking. Like I
Yeah,
just,
of
I
course.
puked, like, and then I went to the woods because it was in the backyard. 'Cause it's a suburb, so I go to the woods and I puke more, and then I come back and I puke more. And then, at a certain point, like the kid whose house it was, his mom comes out because she's there the whole time with like, there's like 100 kids there, and she comes up to me and she's like, you gotta leave. She was
Really?
Like, she was like, I've seen you throw up 5 times. You gotta leave.
She
So-
kicked you out?
She gave me
That
out.
is not
So-
very maternal.
Not at
You
all.
thought she would give you like some water and be like, you need to go rest.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. She was like,
I don't
no.
care how you get home, but you got to get out of here.
Right. So my
What a
date
bitch.
call. I know. That's a good take. That's a good take. So my date calls her mom. My date's also very drunk. So like she calls her mom, and her mom is kind enough to like come and pick us up. And so one thing about like New York is that the streets are like squares, whatever. If you're from a suburb or a rural area, the streets are like
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
So my date's mom picks me up. I'm sitting in the back seat, and like we go around the first turn that it
Uh-oh.
takes, and I just lean out the window, just puke on the car, just puke all over the car, like, and then
What's Liz's mom say?
her mom I think is just trying to live in denial. Her mom is like, I just gotta get him home.
He must have a stomach bug.
Yeah, for sure.
It's something I ate.
And so I puked out the window, and then I'm like, okay, that's it. And then we're coming up towards my house, and I lived kind of in like the woodsy area, so we go around a turn. We're so close to my house. Out the window, puke again on the car. So it's all my puke is all over the car. And so I get home, and I just like kind of like crawl into.
So your
like,
car is still at their house.
Yes.
So you just like stumble into your house.
I just stumbled into my home, and like I just kind of like lying on the floor in like a foyer, and my mom like comes down, and she's like, "This is what you fucking get." And so basically, so to tie up this whole story, basically what my date told me later, Liz told me, was that her mom drove her home. For whatever reason, her mom must have been living in like such insane levels of denial that she did not think Liz was drunk, so she made Liz clean off the car.
Or maybe she knew she was drunk and was like, this
She
is
was
your
like, "This is
punishment.
And so she cleaned off all my vomit from the car. And so then I woke up the next morning just like in a total haze. And I had texts where I was texting people, and I was like, and I was like, wow, that's
Party!
I was like, what a great night.
You guys tried this?
You guys tried texting? Like so we basically yeah, so then my mom drove me to go pick up the car, and then
Yeah.
I had to like apologize to Liz's mom. Liz's mom was very kind, like totally understanding.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Was just like,
Well, this is the thing. Is like we've all been in high. Like this is because again, I don't know the people in these stories, but what I've learned in my life is like, because I've had two different sides of it. Like I've had I've seen the very like strict, like scream and yell, get in trouble. And then I've also had the side where it's like, yeah, like we drink. This is what our family does. So if you drink and you're younger, like we take care of each other and that. Like I've seen both sides of it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's always bananas because I'm like, has anybody here watched a fucking movie? Like this is what we do. This is what young people do.
We're giving evidence. It's like an allegory.
I remember one time I got, because I didn't have any friends in high school, which is well documented on the show. I didn't go to parties and stuff. Then I went to college, started partying, and I remember I came back for a summer and I got so drunk, like with like my sister's friends. The next day, my dad came into the guest room of his house where I was sleeping.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, come on, you got to get up. And I was like, I don't think I can. He's like, you got to get up. I got up and just started throwing up. And he goes,
oh my God.
Because like I'd given myself alcohol poisoning. And my dad was just like, you got to get moving. Like, but he was doing it in like a helpful, because my dad likes to get after it. So he was like, you got to get moving. Like if you just stay sentient, you're going to be sick. Like you got to get going.
Yeah.
And so I remember he was driving me to work because I had a summer job at the old Outback I worked at, and he was driving me in. And I remember I couldn't even turn my head without feeling like I was going to throw up.
Oh my God.
And he's like, you'll get through it. You're going to be fine. Like you're going to be okay. Just drink water. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Which is what, I don't know if it's good parenting or bad parenting. I don't know what you want to call it, but for me that was comforting. I couldn't imagine having a kid and just being like, what's wrong with you? It's like, this is what we do. Like,
No, for
there's
real,
entire genres of film dedicated to this.
Well, it's like it makes no sense like that. That's how you treat like. But it was funny because my parents were always they were always like, do kind of whatever, keep yourself as long as you're safe,
Yeah.
like do it safely, whatever.
We've raised you well enough to know you will probably make the right decision.
Right, exactly. And so so it was fine. But the funny part is like because I didn't really like drink that much in high school like at all. Like when I got to college and I started drinking, like my freshman year was basically just like the heyday for me.
Yeah.
Like when I was drinking.
When you get to Cornell, are you just like, here we go?
Dude, okay, so kind of plot twist when I get to Cornell. So I am also bipolar. So I have
Hey!
bipolar. Oh, let's go, dude.
One or two?
Two.
Me too.
So there you go.
I have a
Okay.
whole bit about it.
Yeah.
Growing up, my sisters were always like, Brennan, quirky Gemini. And then I got to rehab. They're like, no, you're bipolar too, dude.
It was like it made sense in retrospect when I got diagnosed, but like I got diagnosed. It was
I'm like, that makes so much sense now. Why I was like just crying randomly or screaming at people.
I gotta hear a bit about it because I also have a bit about. Oh, that's so.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah. It's,
Do you take anything?
Yeah, Lamictal, Abilify for it, and then Prestique for anxiety.
They tried to put me on lithium, and I was like, I can't do comedy and take because it zonked me out, and I was like, I can't.
Well, because I was diagnosed with anxiety first, and so when I started on like Celexa, Trintellix, and it just numbed me to the core.
And I was like, I can't do stand up like that. And then I got sober, and I was like, I just got off of everything because then they put me on what's the Klonopin. They put me on Klonopin for my anxiety, but they would give me like these heavy dose slow releases. And so I'd just be zonked all day.
Oh, my God.
And then I remember one doctor gave me Adderall, Klonopin, and Xanax for anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
And dude, this is before I got sober. I was like, this is great. Ah! I only have to do one shot. Hannibal Buress says that great joke where he's like, they tell you not to drink on them, but that's because they don't want you to have a good time.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, I was so fun. And then when I got sober, like sober,
Yeah.
I was talking to a bunch of people in the super secret program I'm in and stuff, and they were like, well, if you go to therapy and you think you can do it without it, try it. And I did, and my comedy got exponentially better. So I was like, I guess this is what we're doing. But now at work, it still will like, I mean, in life, it crops up.
Yeah.
Where like the switch will flip. And like
Yes.
I've like shattered glasses at work because I've gotten like triple sat, and I've taken wine glasses and just shattered them, and they're like,
God.
whoa. And then immediately I'm like, my bad, I'll fix it. So yeah, it's
No,
so,
but I know it's exactly that. And it's like it's funny because like I think like bipolar, like people think about bipolar, they think about bipolar 1.
Yeah.
They don't know, like there's there's like cyclothymia, which is like hypomania, like, and that's like the not bipolar but not bipolar,
Yeah.
kind of like in the middle, like. And then bipolar 2 is when you have like an episode but it's not like because 1 is like characterized by like like spending insane amounts of money, like extremely impulsive and
it's hypermania. It's
right.
So like my manic episodes is like I was telling you earlier, I'll get into a manic episode and then I'll be like, I have to get out of the apartment, and like I'll take the 5 train to the zoo and I'll just walk around the zoo for 6 hours by myself.
Yeah.
And then it kind of dissipates and I'm like,
Right.
okay. Or I'll clean the house and like Tracy will come home and she's like, what have you been doing all day? And I'm like, I cleaned the entire house.
Yeah, you're
like moving
you're
shit
a
out of the
Swiffer.
way.
You're like a Swiffer.
yeah.
A Swiffer.
Like if I don't clean the house, then I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And so like it manifests in different ways, but it's not to the extreme of like the almost schizophrenic personality disorder stuff.
Exactly. Right. So I wasn't diagnosed until 2023, but I certainly was manic for my entire first semester at Cornell. Like the entire semester. Like I once went 4 days, no sleep.
Yeah.
Like I honestly took a Spanish test after and did pretty well. And I was like, okay, I guess the secret to learning Spanish is just not.
La idioma de español me
I just wasn't
idioma.
overthinking anything. I was like, the accent probably goes here, whatever. But like,
let it rip.
Yeah, dude, I just kind of free falled in. I was like, all right. But I was manic for the whole first semester. So like I drank realistically probably like, I don't know, 3 times a week, which is not crazy, but like, again,
but going from almost nothing to 3 times a week is a lot.
Crazy. And on top of it, so there's 2 kind of factors to it. One, or maybe it's one main factor was that I did not know at that point like how to cure hangovers.
Yep.
And I didn't realize, for whatever reason, this is totally my own fault, did not realize that hangover is dehydration.
Yeah.
And so I just would not drink water after I literally thought it was just my body punishing me for drinking. I thought that's how hangovers worked.
That's the worst thing you could do.
So I would just like wait for my hangover to end, and then it'd end, and I'd be like, I just fucking knocked another one out, baby. Like I crushed this.
Take
hangover.
that. You're like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Is that all you got?
I was like, I just raw dogged this hangover, dude. And so
God, I feel so bad for your liver. That's so terrible.
dude. So I drank. So like when I got to college, it was orientation week. It was like 5 days. So I drank for 5 days in a row.
You're living on campus?
Yeah. I was living in freshman dorms.
Freshman
so
dorms. All right.
I like went to parties and like I really used college as like a reset.
Yeah.
Like, for
I did
high
the same.
school because
Yeah.
I grew up. My graduating class in high school was 136.
Oh wow, that's tiny. Yeah.
So like everybody knew everybody. I was like, all right, I'm around all these people. Cornell was like a big graduating class, and so I basically changed. I was manic, and so I was just like I was leading groups of people to parties. There were
And having no idea why this was happening.
No, I just knew I was not. I actually had a couple friends at the time, like wonderful people who like sat me down towards like the end of the semester, and they were like, okay, like we don't really know you, but we know like this isn't you.
Yeah.
Which was really helpful to hear because they were like, you're not being like a great person because you're just kind of like out there, because I wanted to meet everyone, I wanted to make a good impression on everyone, but like there were literally like during the first few weeks of college, I was extroverted and manic, I guess manic enough to the point where I was leading groups of like 20-30 people to frat parties, and people would just hit me up being like, where are you going tonight? And I'd be like, I got all the spots, like, and so I just like, it was amazing, dude. It was like the time of my life. I like at one point I like went to, it was like Sig Ep, I think was the frat there, and like the party hadn't started. It was like maybe 9:30, and I had this huge group of people, and we were picking people up off the streets, like straight up. We were like, you want to party? You want to party? You want to party? We're all gonna party. And so we got this huge group of people, and we go up to the door and like knock on the door, and the brothers are there, and they're like, oh, it's like kind of early, like there's no one really here, and I'm like, we got 30 people.
We're here.
And that's how the party started. Like, it was like that for like an entire semester.
That's a fucking movie, man.
It was awesome. It was like such a treat. But
all coming out of mental illness.
All coming out of bipolar, baby. So I was manic. It was a time. And then the second semester, I got a little bit more of a handle on it, but I was still drinking a bunch relative a bunch.
Yeah.
So then I actually had to, like, I gave myself gastritis multiple, like 3 times, I think. 3 separate occasions. Which is the stomach and inflammation, right? And so I...
if I had a nickel for every time I had to go to urgent care to get a note for why I missed work for gastritis.
Dude, for real? I remember, I don't know if you ever had anything like this. One time I thought I had appendicitis. And
you just sent me that story.
Yeah, because I literally, it's not, I mean, I literally called like urgent care and I was like, I think I have appendicitis. They were like...
You have to go to the ER.
Yeah, no, literally. And they were like, well, why don't you like wait a few minutes? And I called my parents and I was like, I think I have appendicitis. They're like, why don't you wait a few minutes? I was just fully... constipated, like just fully, like I literally like it just could not. I was just sitting in
just
bed
from drinking and partying too much.
From drinking, that was all that it was. It was amazing, and so it was great. But like then I had to tell, because I also told everyone else in my dorm. I was like, have you guys ever had appendicitis? Because it's definitely this. And so then at the end of it,
dude,
like
I've done that
like,
so
it was like
many
a walk
times.
of shame, but like for not appendicitis. So
I've made up so many medical ailments where I'm like, I know I have this, and I've gone around and told people. I remember one time, speaking of manic episodes, I remember one time in high school, my mom like came to us and she had told me she had like a medical thing going on.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize like polyps and cysts and stuff were like a thing.
Yeah.
So when my mom told me she had cysts and that she was gonna have to go for surgery to get them taken out, I just heard cancer. because I was like, it's a growth and they have to take it out. So that's like what my brain heard.
Yeah.
So I went around and told people like, this is what happened to my mom.
No way.
Yeah. It, like tears in my eye, like, because I fully believed it. And it got back to because my parents were divorced, and it got back to my dad, and he was like, the fuck are you doing?
Oh my God.
And I was like, doesn't she have cancer? And he was like, no, you moron. She had a small medical procedure to remove a cyst. You fucking idiot. And dude, you want to talk about a walk of shame to be like,
That's
I hope everyone forgot I brought that up.
Oh my God, dude.
Because this is embarrassing.
That's nuts.
That's one of the intrusive thoughts that I have. Like, you know how sometimes you have like compartmentalized thoughts?
Yes.
I will just wake up in the middle of the night and be like, remember that one time you told the entire football team your mom had cancer when she didn't? And I'm like,
dude,
I do remember that.
That will fuck you up.
But I like honestly, like I didn't do it
Wow.
maliciously. It's just
No, of course
she
not.
told me what. But again, this is just and looking like you said, looking back, I'm like, oh, it's because I have a broken brain. But nobody fucking knew that at the time.
Right.
I
Now you
just catastrophize things because that's a form of my mania, is being like, worst case scenario, this is what's happening.
Yes, 100%.
So same for you. Like you're like, my stomach hurts. I'm dying. It must be appendicitis.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you tell everyone, and then you're like, hey guys, I just had to poop really bad.
That's literally all it was.
Right?
So because of that, because I treated my body like terribly, I had to get an endoscopy after my
That's the throat, right? Down the throat?
Down the throat. So like it was the first time I'd ever they look into your stomach, see what's wrong, and because like I couldn't like drink, I couldn't really eat spicy foods, I couldn't like really, I was just like my stomach hurt all the time.
Yeah. That's
and
a thing. You guys do that?
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, dude, like.
Hey! It's a joke. Everybody relax.
Shout out,
My unborn child is Jewish. Everybody calm down.
That's kind of our thing. We kind of have a lock on stomach problems. It's kind of our thing. I truly.
You do.
It's really, yeah, dude. Lactose intolerant, gluten free by choice. That's a whole different thing. So I went to oh my God. So we went to the doctor. They gave me an endoscopy.
It'd be so funny if you walked into the doctor and he went, "Yeah, Holzman, you're Jew. Yeah, of course you have stomach issues."
Oh, easily. I could have easily.
He said, "Go home. What are you doing here?"
He's like, bro.
I don't know if you guys read the bio. This is kind of a thing that happens.
Dude, it's great. It's like it's so prevalent too. I'm like, dude, it's crazy. And so I went to the gastroenterologist, who I assume was also Jewish. He must have been. Like, how do you relate to someone if you're not like that?
That's so funny, man.
Yeah, so I got this guy, and I'm like, yeah, my stomach hurts. He's like, yeah, no shit. Like, he was like, how many times are you drinking? And I was like, oh, like, 3-4 times, whatever.
You were honest?
Yeah.
Don't just get over that, because that's a big thing. People often feel judged by doctors, so they'll lie.
Yeah.
And I've said this before. I know a lot of people in recovery listen to the show. Don't fucking lie.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, they might make you feel like shit. They might judge you. Who gives a shit? They cannot treat you if you lie.
Yeah, no, you always, and you'll get like the most honest treatment.
Yeah.
Nah, I guess, like, if you just tell you. So I told you that I was like, yeah, like, 3-4 times a week I'll be having like 4 or 5, whatever, like whatever.
Apple
the number
Svedka,
was.
we're doing
Apple
it.
Svedka, yeah, which actually I've certainly not touched since high school. But so I like, so he's like, yeah, we'll give you an endoscopy. We'll see what's going on. See if you like fucked your liver or whatever. And so they give me an endoscopy, dude. Like, honestly, anesthesia's awesome.
It's the
Like,
best.
it's the best. It's the best sleep I've ever gotten. It's so, anesthesiologist has got to be one of the best jobs in the history of the workplace. Like, truly. They're all like, they'll shit talk, they banter, they're
so
all
good.
like I mean, what
When
a
I had to have a
lifestyle.
surgery for a swollen testicle, which I talk about on stage, but my anesthesiologist was fucking the man.
Dude, they're all
And
incredible.
this was when I was like maybe a year or two sober. So I had history, I've done heroin, I've done a lot of like drugs and booze.
Yeah.
And I remember the anesthesiologist was like, now when you wake up, you're going to be like woozy, you're going to like come out of it, you're not going to know where you are, you're going to be saying things you don't realize. And I still remember the moment I opened my eyes, I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. And he looked over at me and I go, no, I've got a lot of tolerance for this kind of stuff. And he was like, oh boy. Because he was like, you're going to be so out of it. And I remember waking up being like, what's up, guys?
Dude,
and he was
that's
like,
what it is.
the fuck is going on?
That's what it is, though, because you wake up, it's like no, it's obviously like no time has passed.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. Certainly do not have the tolerance for it, but I did wake up.
Maybe
and I was
it's
like,
more the mental stuff than it is the
it must
actual
be.
physical
Well,
tolerance.
probably because you're like, even though you know, like
it might be the way our brains are wired.
It might be because you want to resist it, like not
Yeah.
because like losing control is like that's the scariest thing for me. It's like
when they did that
that's-
countdown, I was like, no.
like, I was like, no, I'm gonna get to zero. I'm gonna get to zero.
I got to 3.
You had to think, oh, dude, that's
He counted down from 10, yeah.
That's impressive.
I was like, no. And then he was like 5, 4, and I was like,
I wonder what David Blaine would get to. He probably just doesn't go under.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah.
No, I'm good.
He's like,
I'm fine.
It's so funny. He's like, is it on yet? Is this thing on? It's so dumb.
So you got put under.
So
they
I got
do
put
the
under,
thing.
yeah, and like I took, and so then they whatever.
I can see the doctor walking in. So Skyler, we're looking at your chart. Turns out you are, you're Jewish. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That's basically what they said. They basically said the synonym, which is like, yeah, you kind of just weak.
Oh, he said that. I didn't say that, folks.
That's a joke, somewhat. Yeah, no, he was like, your stomach's weak. I don't know why you're drinking this much and you weren't eating food to protect yourself. You got to just take so I had to take these pills, which were like, they were supposed to coat your stomach, so you had to time out when you eat. And so like I would take these pills like every day, twice a day, and you had to eat like right after it, or like 20 minutes after. It was like some crazy whatever. And so I did that for a while. And yeah, that was, but so I couldn't, I kind of stopped drinking after that, and I couldn't eat like spicy foods for a while, and like it was a whole.
Are you rebounded now?
I mean, so I don't drink anymore, and but I
Now,
yeah,
wait, I want to ask you about this because this is something I know, because we're going to wrap up soon, and you got to come back because we still have 420 freshman year. We have the strip club. We've got so much to still talk about.
Would love to.
But I wanted to ask you, because you don't really drink anymore at all.
Yeah. I don't
just
drink
period.
Yeah.
Now, was that something that you decided during college, or was that something you decided after you moved to New York? Or?
No. So it was funny because the rest of college ended up being like I didn't really drink much. And sophomore year I couldn't drink because of the doctor's orders. So like I had just started figuring out how to go to parties.
I also
sober.
love that about you. Doctor's orders. Do you know how many doctors told me to quit drinking? And I was like, fuck off. Go fuck yourself. Do you want to live in this neighborhood? I don't.
Dude,
doctor's orders.
It's great. I was like, I still followed to a T.
That's
like,
so
even,
good.
Yeah, like
That's so smart.
I was like, what am I supposed to do? Because I was like, otherwise I'd just be walking around all day and be like, my stomach hurts. Like, somebody save me.
I have appendicitis.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, like.
No,
yeah.
it finally took me waking up in the hospital being like, an ER doctor was like, you should have been dead like 3 hours ago. And then I was like, okay, maybe you guys had a point. Maybe I should stop drinking.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But that's a whole other thing. So for you, you couldn't drink your sophomore year because the doctor was like, this is fucking your shit up.
Right. And so then I just started figuring out how to go to parties sober, which was like definitely challenging, but like I just started figuring it out. Then COVID hit. So then like pandemic happened.
Oh,
and
yeah. I keep forgetting how recent this was.
No, so then I was like drinking a little bit during the pandemic. I drank a little, but like not too much. My senior year, I didn't really drink when things were starting to get back to normal. And then I took a Europe trip with my senior year roommate, who's one of my best friends. We took a trip to Europe, and I just decided I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drink every day, and it was awesome. Oh my God, it was so much fun, dude.
You hold that thought?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have you come back on, and I want to start with Europe.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So went to Europe, whatever, and then after Europe, I like moved to the city, got a job, whatever, and then it was November of 2022.
Okay.
And I just woke up one Sunday, and I was like, I'm gonna lose this whole day, and then I was like, I just
hungover or just
hungover.
Okay,
and I was just like, I keep losing an entire day, and I was like, I was kind of like in a weird headspace because I had taken a break from stand up because I don't say I started doing stand up seriously until January 1st, 2023, which was when I was like, I'm gonna go all in because I was doing it spotty after college, and college wasn't consistent.
Yeah, I started in 2009, but again, same thing. Like a mic here, a mic there. Maybe someone would throw you on a show.
Right. So it was like very kind of spotty.
Yeah.
So I was like in a weird headspace, and I wasn't doing stand up at the time, and I was just like, oh, I don't know. So I was like, I just need to kind of like be a little bit more focused, and so I decided to stop drinking. And since November 2022, nothing.
Boom.
Yeah, dude.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, we're going to have you back on. We got so much to
I
still
would love
talk
to.
about.
This is such a treat.
This is fun,
such a
man.
treat.
Plug everything one more time. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Instagram, Skyler Holzman _, and then Leg Day Comedy. And there's one other thing. I'm starting up a podcast that I recently had. You'll love this, actually. You're gonna come on this podcast. It's called Uncover the Spread, and it's a satirical sports betting podcast.
Oh yeah, you did this before, didn't you?
Yes. So
yeah.
I did it with my friend Josh Dietrich. He's also hilarious. Wonderful guy, one of my best friends. We started it, but he was in school at UCLA at the time, and so we did it remote. It wasn't working remote as well, and now he lives in the city.
Okay.
And so we're gonna record it in my apartment. And it's Uncover the Spread, satirical sports betting show. That's the handle on Instagram. Check it out, and we'll be releasing soon.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. At Brennan T. Comedy on all social media. BrennanTComedy.com. I'll be in Denver in September. Come see me there. 6 shows.
Let's go, baby.
Grizzly Pear, The Stand. You can catch me all around the city. We'll talk to y'all next week. Boom!
Yes.